Good day, YouTube, and welcome back to the Trooper's Corner. I'm Trooper134, and today I'm doing a quick video on how to build a upside-down hanging Halloween corpse. We're going to have to work on that title. It's a little clunky. Anyways, unfortunately, I didn't get a whole lot of time to build props this year, but I did manage to get this one project out. I've been wanting to have a mummified corpse hanging out of the tree in my front yard that looks like it was caught by a spider and eaten. So I had a skeleton laying around. I said, you know what? This is the year. I'm going to go ahead and throw this together. So anyways, without further ado, let's go ahead and look at my process. All right, so what I want to do is I'm going to take this plastic skeleton from the hardware store. I've had it for a couple of years, and I usually just like sit them on the porch or something. But this year, I wanted to add a dangling corpse to the Halloween scene. So I have a whole haunted graveyard overrun with big nasty spiders theme kind of going on. And I want a partially desiccated dead body hanging upside down that's cocooned in spider web that I can hang off my tree or somewhere off my porch. So I think basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of zip tie the limbs together or tape the limbs together. Tape the feet together like this. I'm going to take some white pea cord and wrap it around the feet for a string to hang it off so it looks like thick spider web. I think I will corpse some of this. And I'm going to be using a wood glue and paper towel strip kind of method to do that. I'll corpse the parts that are going to be exposed. So probably the face, and I'll get some fake eyeballs. Maybe parts of the shoulder, chest, both of the hands and the feet, and I think the rest of it I'll just leave like this. I'll probably hit it with a wood stain. So I know a lot of people like to do the shrink wrap corpsing, where you take the clear plastic shrink wrap it around the body, and then you hit it with a heat gun and it melts down and kind of looks like wrinkled flesh. I've done that before. I don't like it because paint, stain, things that make it look like skin do not stick. After a couple years, it starts flaking off. It makes a giant mess, and then you just see clear plastic all over the skeleton. So that's why I'm choosing to do the glue and kind of paper towel strip method instead of the shrink wrap plastic. But anyways, let's go ahead and start filming the process and start building this. I don't know why, but all of a sudden I just had this idea that I'd use my heat gun to heat up the fingers on Skelly here. So he was given the goat horns, the secret devil side. Ah, rock and roll! Yeah! A little bit of Tight Bond premium wood glue. A little bit of water. About a 60-40 mix. Stir it up real good till we get about a pancake batter consistency mixture. I'd say that's about right. And some paper towels ripped into about 1 or 2 inch strips. Now, be careful in your selection of paper towels. Some of them have colors and indented shapes in the paper towel, which will show up on your skeleton. Now, if that's what you want, go for it. Otherwise, I would suggest getting a paper towel that actually comes out of a box like you get at the hardware store. The white rags boxes, okay? They're smooth, they're very durable, they have no patterns, no smells, and no colors. We got to pick out its eyes. So I found these eyeballs, okay, on Amazon. I'll post a link down below. But it was like $6 for this whole bag. These look really cool, I got to admit. Now, the question is, though, which ones do we go? Let me think about blue eyes. Oh, it's not too bad, not too bad. No, let's see. Or how about, what do we got here? Oh, some green eyes. Let's see how that looks. Oh, green looks pretty good too. I'm going to say green or blue. I'll make the decision here in a few minutes, but I'll go ahead and super glue these in, and then I'll kind of corpse around the face, leaving those eye holes open so he has kind of a surprised look on his face, like he just doesn't understand what happened to him. But doesn't matter, because it's rock and roll. I kind of figured the easiest way to get these eyes in was I'm going to spread a little bit of cyanoacrylate or super glue out on this little bag right here. Take the eyeball and dip it in the glue, kind of work it around so we make sure we get it all over the edges, and then just kind of drop it, press it into place. Okay, there we go. I'll get this next one over here. Good amount on there. Right. And drop that one into place. Okay. Just kind of check to make sure we're making pretty good contact, and hell, that turned out just about perfect. All right, so I'm going to take my paper towel and dip it in my glue mixture, and I go ahead and kind of squeeze my fingers, or squeeze it between my fingers like this, and I get most of that excess glue off. I don't need a lot on here, and if I leave it soaked, it'll literally take months for it to dry out. We don't want that. So we're going to get this excess glue off, and then we'll start wrapping the toes up. Mummy style here. Okay. I think what I'll do is I'll start down here at the feet and wrap this up over here, and then we'll kind of build our way back up towards the toes. All right, down like that. So before you start doing this, obviously, make sure that your appendages are in the position you want them to be in. Once you get this wrapped up and the glue sets, you're not going to be able to move the feet, the fingers, the toes around at all. So I'll kind of sit here and smooth these edges out a little bit too, so it's not quite as obvious as what we used to kind of make this corpse looking thing here. Okay, that looks pretty good. So we have most of the first layers on our corpse here. So I'm gonna hang them up in the sun to get this first layer kind of dried out. I've made the mistake before of doing 2 or 3 layers on all at once, and it literally took weeks and sometimes even longer, like months, for it to completely harden and dry. So we're not going to make that mistake. This is layer number 1. Let them hang out in the sun and probably stay outside all night as long as it doesn't rain or anything, and then come back and get started again tomorrow. All right, so we let this sit overnight, and the stuff that I put on the anterior surface of Skelly is nice and dried off. So now I flipped them over. I'm going to start doing the first layer on kind of the posterior side, and then we'll do the same thing. I'll hang them up, let them dry, and then we'll keep going. So what I've decided to do is paint the paper towel stuff, because this yellow just does not look good under the stain. So I'm probably just going to use a light colored spray paint that I have here at the house. So one of the easiest ways I found to kind of mask off an area like this is I've taken a paper towel, wet it down, squeezed most of the moisture out, and I'm going to stuff it down inside because I don't want those eyeballs that we glued in there to get paint all over them. So we just kind of squeeze it down, and because the paper towel is wet, it will conform to all those edges and keep that spray paint from hitting the eyeball. There we go. Okay, get that other one in here like that. There we go. Push that down there. Perfect. Okay, so at this point, I've tried a couple of different paints. I tried white and gray. Don't really like those. Definitely don't like the white. Now, this one, so this color is Krylon Satin Khaki. Not bad. This looks like a pretty decent base color to put that stain on. I think it'll really bring out the darks and the highlights after I wipe it. However, I'm going to try this color right here, Krylon Matte River Rock. It'll be kind of a lighter color that I think will look a lot better with a darker stain. So let's try that. For now, I'm just going to try it on this spot right here because I haven't masked off the teeth yet. Let's try a spot here on the head. See if we like it. Oh, yeah, okay, all right. I think. Yeah, there we go. I think I like that color much better. So I think this is what we're going to use as our base color when we put the stain on. Yep, I like the look of that. Let's do it. All right. So I want to keep those teeth this kind of plastic color, so obviously I just took a little strip of masking tape and put it over the teeth. I'm not going to bother cutting the shapes out. I don't care that much about it. I just kind of press it into the gum line. That is going to be more, oops, bad camera work. I'm just pressing it into the gum line. That's going to be more than enough for what I need it to do. Oh, there it is. That's that stone color I was showing you. That's a lot better than the yellow. I think this will look pretty good with that stain. All right, now the question is, which stain are we going to use now that we've changed the color up, the base color? Then that means that the overall result's going to be a little different. So once again, I'm going to do just a little bit on the legs here to kind of see how it looks. Let's see, early American, Jacobean, or the cherry. You know, I think okay, I think I'm going to start off with this early American. It's number 230 on the Minwax. Let's try a little test piece here and see how that looks. Okay, kind of dark, but now, unfortunately, you can see a little bit of texture kind of showing up. So, it's not terrible when you wipe it. Okay, so that's that early American. Pretty dark. It's pretty dark. I don't want to compare it to this cherry. You know, this cherry kind of has a reddish color to it, so maybe I'll kind of bring a little bit of extra color to it. Let's find out. Let's see what the cherry looks like. Rest of that out of the brush there. And try a little bit of that on this leg right here. All right, that's not bad, not bad, not bad. Let's see. I'm not really sure which one I like best. They both have some pretty decent properties. Let me just try a little bit. I think I like the cherry just a little bit better. I'll try a little bit more. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply the stain liberally. I'm going to let it dry, and then I'm probably just going to take a thinner, moist towel or something and just wipe some of the excess off. It'll almost end up being like a dry brush kind of thing. I think I like this cherry. Okay, so I think that's what I'm going to go with. So there we go. Excuse my camera work again. All right, so the Minwax Wood Finish Cherry, number 235 stain. And let's kind of see how that looks. And there you have it. So this is just the first coat of stain on the areas that are going to be exposed. Looks pretty good. I'm going to let this dry, and then I may do another coat just to darken it up a little bit, and then lightly wipe it off of areas to kind of make the highlights pop a little bit more. Overall though, it's looking pretty cool. I think when we get this wrapped up, it's going to look pretty sweet. Got another coat of stain on here. It's looking pretty good. It's really shiny though, so we're going to go ahead and give it a little zip zap of some flat clear to kind of take that shine off. Sorry about the camera work. I decided that it would be easier to wrap up the old skelly while he's actually hanging upside down. So I have this convenient little stand. I actually use this for spray painting guns and like other things, but this is working out real good for this project. But I think it'll be a lot easier to wrap him up while he's kind of hanging like this. So I got my polyester spider web out of the package. Don't forget, and this is straight out of the instructions, don't forget to pull it tight. That kind of helps it to kind of poof out and frizz out a little bit, I guess. Okay, a little bit more. A little bit more how to do it. All right. Here's the finished product. Overall, pretty happy. Looks like a partially desiccated, cocooned up body. Just the way I wanted it. Pretty happy with that. I decided to pull some of the spider web down over the face. I think that looks pretty cool. I don't think that this is going to stay here very long. Probably just this season, and then it'll probably just start unraveling. I may hold some of this down with a piece of tape right here, but overall, looks pretty good. Let's go hang it up.
Okay, everybody, that pretty much wraps up the video. I hope you found it to be informative, or at the very least it inspired you to get started on your next Halloween project. Until next time, I hope you're having a great day. This is Trooper 134, signing off.